All right, welcome everybody. This is the iBUG Buzz episode 560 for November 21, 2022. This is Thanksgiving week in the States. For any of you that might be new to the iBUG Buzz and joining us on the call, or if you're listening to a recording of this call, we extend a special welcome to you. iBUG Buzz is an open forum where we encourage people to ask questions, raise issues about their iOS devices like the iPhone, iPad, Apple TV, Apple Watch, and specifically ask questions about VoiceOver, the use of VoiceOver, and other accessibility features on those devices. We like to start each call with announcements and a preview of other iBUG events coming up this week. So for that, I'll turn it over to our Wikipedia of all things iBUG, Sandhya Rao.
All right. Thank you, Greg. All right. Yes, we, even though it is Thanksgiving, we actually have a fairly, week. There's a lot of stuff going on. So we are here for the iBUG Buzz for the next 2 hours, 7 to 9. And all times I mentioned are Central Time, and all events are on Zoom unless specified otherwise. Then tomorrow we have 2 events. We have the iBUG Mini Buzz, a mini version of what we're doing tonight. And that will be on Clubhouse from 5 to 6. And then in the evening from 7 to 8:30, we have Mac and Talk, talking about all things related to your Mac, or whether you should get a Mac, or maybe you don't know what to do with the Mac you have. So come to that and get all your questions answered. Then, okay, we have Wednesday off. Thursday is the big turkey day. And then Friday is iBUG Night at the Virtual Movies, where we can come and decompress after our family events and so forth. So we hope you'll join us for that. And for the big reveal, that will be at the top of the hour this evening, and those will be with some fabulous clues and some even more fabulous prizes. So come and participate with that in about an hour. Social media, we have a website, ibugtoday.org. That's the best place to get all of the information. You can subscribe there, and then you'll get everything in email notification form. It does not cost anything. None of our services cost anything. So we hope that you will avail yourself of these various social and training programs. We have a Twitter account, is at iBUG Today, Facebook page, facebook.com/group/iBUG Today. We have an email, is ibugtoday@gmail.com. We have a mentoring program. If you are a new user and would like to get to know your iPhone better and unlock that amazing power, fill out the application on our website under the training tab, and then we will match you up with one of our amazing advanced users. And conversely, if you are an advanced user, would like to help somebody else in that journey to unlocking their phone, fill out the mentor application on the same place in that same tab. And let's see, I think, and well, I just wanted to say that we had an awesome iBUG Apple workshop this weekend on Saturday. We had it 1 week early in honor of Thanksgiving. And we wanted to thank Ryan and Herbie for their demos of YouTube and Keychain, 2 apps that we get a lot of questions about. So thank you, gentlemen, for that. And that, I believe, is already up on our website. With that, I will hand it back to you, Greg.
All right. So this would be the time in the call that we like to go around the room and let everybody say hello. You'll need to unmute, state your name, tell us where you're from. And if you're new to the iBUG Buzz or newish, please let us know. Please share that with us. So I'll get things started. I'm Greg in Texas.
This is Herbie in Houston.
Houston.
Hi, Julie. Herbie.
Wesley from Pennsylvania.
Hi, Wesley.
This is Brad, North Texas.
Hey, Brad.
Bridget from Atlanta.
Hi, Bridget.
Gary from Texas.
Hey, Gary.
Pat, Ohio.
Hi, Pat.
Hi.
Dana in Cincinnati.
Hey, Dana. Okay, and who else was that?
Claudia.
Claudia?
Houston.
Hi, Claudia.
Oh,
Hi.
Vincent in New Jersey.
Hey, Vincent.
Hi.
Jerry in Vermont.
Hi, Jerry.
Jody in New Hampshire.
Jody, good evening.
Dan, Southern California.
Helene, what,
Hi, Dan. Hi, Helene.
Sri from Virginia.
Hey, Sri.
Hershey from Central Florida.
Hi, Hershey.
Chica Tanaka from Silver Springs, Maryland.
Is it Pete?
Chico.
Chico. Oh, hi, Chico. Glad you could join us.
Ryan
else?
from Ontario.
Hi, Ryan.
This is Joe from Norman, Oklahoma.
Hey, Joe. We have a good crowd tonight. Who else is out there?
This is Sandhya from Houston.
This is Suva from Houston.
Hi, Sue. Anybody else want to say hello?
Desi in Phoenix.
Hi, Debbie.
Desi.
I'm sorry. Desi.
Yes,
Thank you.
DESI. That's okay.
Thank you, Sandhya. Okay, who else? All right. Well, let's move on to questions. So the first part of our question and answer segment, we like to reserve for anybody that's new or newish. And I don't know that we have anybody, do we, Sandhya, that's new?
Didn't see any, no.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's just open it up. Anybody have questions, issues?
This is Helene from Woodstock.
Sure,
New
Helene,
York.
go ahead.
I was wondering about this thing called cookies. And I get most of my Facebook, I have more advertisements than people. And someone said you can say that you don't want cookies, but then you take all your history away. So I just wanted to know what people think about the pros and cons of these invaders.
Okay. So how are people handling cookies and browser history?
This is Brad.
Yeah, Brad, go ahead.
Cookies aren't necessarily bad. A lot of them are good. For example, if you have certain websites you log into, like your bank, or well, bank's not a good, but a website, and there may be a box, remember me. It remembers your name, so you don't have to type it in every time. Or other things. I mean, friendly websites use cookies because it's just a little bitty file that that has a little piece of information that the website can use. Now, other websites may use this same method of data in a nefarious way, but not all websites do it. You can go into your settings and then find Safari, and you can clear cookies. Now, if you're talking about Facebook, that's another story. You're probably using the Facebook app, and there's really not anything you can do about Facebook. Facebook is just a nefarious company, at least that's my opinion, who gathers data and monetizes it. So it's hard to stop Facebook. But as far as general web browsing, you can go into Safari and clear your cookies and your history, but you may need to be entering, you forfeit a lot of information that friendly websites have saved. So let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody want to add to that?
Well, this is Suva.
Siva, go ahead.
So not to get into too much into IP masking and IP restrictions. So I use a program called AdGuard. So it's a general blocking, pop-up blocking, and ad blocking. So it's something I like to use along with web browsing in incognito mode, and that seems to be doing it pretty well. So that's just some of the one until you get into some of the more Proton and other VPN types of things. So, but AdGuard along with Incognito seems to do it pretty well for me. So,
Okay. Thank you, Siva. All right. Let's go ahead and, so there are good cookies and there are bad cookies. Let's move on and did that take care of your question, Helene?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to another question.
This is Dan.
Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
Can I ask a question about AdGuard?
Sure.
Okay, well, I'm wondering, is AdGuard very accessible? And you said you compared it to Incognito. What is Incognito?
Okay, back to Siva or Brad.
Suva here. So,
Yeah.
first part of your question is AdGuard accessible? It's
Yes.
So the AdGuard itself is there's nothing you do on the app itself, but yes, it is voiceover enabled. The second part, so basically there's a couple of parts to it. You download the AdGuard and then you go to your settings, you go to Safari, scroll down, and there will be a section for AdGuard that pops up on your Safari. I'm sorry, on the settings under Safari. So if you find that AdGuard's on the settings screen, you click on it, go into it, and you have to enable, I believe, 5 or 6 different settings. It's the checkboxes you have to open up or turn it on. Those will include cookies, browse, ad blocking, and other whitelisting different website and trackers. So it's not the best. I mean, yeah, you get, in your Mac, in your Windows, you have way advanced tools. But for iPhone, that's a pretty good one. I mean, there's other ones, but AdGuard, so we can go into more details later. But yeah, just if you have any questions, I can walk you through how it works. But yeah, so that it is accessible, and you go to the settings, and it is, you have to turn it on under settings, Safari. And your other question is Incognito. Incognito is basically just a private browser, basically.
And that's something that you can set. You can choose that option in Safari.
Correct. Yeah, it's just gonna bottom right hand side. Click on it, and it'll be private browser, Incognito. Yeah.
Right. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to another question.
This is Pat.
Okay, go ahead, Pat.
I have noticed, I think it started when 16 got updated, that on my contact list, I get all these random email addresses. Why is that, and what are they for?
So you're saying when you open your contacts app, you're getting a bunch of addresses in your listing that are not familiar to you?
Yeah, they're under my name in my contacts, and I have deleted them out, and it seems like that a bunch of them are back. They're just random email addresses. And I know on Safari, they keep saying they have blocked X number of people every day. So I just can't figure out why I'm getting all these random email addresses.
Okay. And again, this is in your contacts app, the listing of contacts in your contacts app, right?
It's under my name and my contact.
Okay. Does anybody have any thoughts on that?
This is Sri.
Yeah, Sri, go ahead.
I'm kind of guessing here a little bit. This may be the Siri is finding these contacts in previous emails that's showing up to let you know that this particular email address is found somewhere on your device that Siri sees. That may not necessarily be in your contacts that you manually added it to it.
Anybody?
I haven't seen any. I mean, I'm trying to bring up my contacts now.
This is Sri.
Yeah, go ahead, Sri.
So typically, there may be email addresses that's not in your contacts that Siri finds in maybe an email or a text message or somewhere in your communication that's letting you know that it found this particular person's email address.
Could that appear in your contacts listing?
It just came up in my contacts. Yeah.
This is Sri.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it located all the way in the bottom?
No, it's mixed in. You know, I've got an iCloud address. Sometimes they're above or below that.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're not going to be able to solve that tonight. You might want to call Apple Accessibility on that. That sounds real strange. You agree, Sri?
Yeah, I'm just thinking this might be under her settings, under her name, if she's seeing the email address that she's created.
Looks like a lot of them are about Facebook.com. They end with Facebook.com. So at groups.facebook.com, I don't know why it would put an address in it. I am on several groups, but you know, I don't have my email public on Facebook, so.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not actually understanding what's on your screen right now.
If I call Apple, they're gonna say they have nothing to do with Facebook.
Well, yeah, Pam, but they can share your screen, so they can see what's on your screen and maybe give you some guidance based on what they're seeing on your screen. I can't imagine what that would be.
All of them ends with groups at facebook.com/ either Yahoo or iCloud. That's how it is. So I don't know.
This is
I
Sandhya.
just, yeah.
So yeah, we're probably have to move on, but I think there is if you are in your contacts, I know that there's somewhere where it has like at the top, it has groups, and then it tells you like all of your different groups. It's rather confusing, but it'll tell you like all of your Yahoo people, all of your, you know, your different mailing lists. So maybe you got in there somehow, but that's my theory. There is something about groups there, so maybe that's where you are. But yeah, we probably need to keep going.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You might, at the top of your screen, you might flick through the groups and the listings and see if you can change the page you're on. And if you have trouble, you know, contact Apple Accessibility and let them see your screen. So let's move on to the next question. Thank you, Pam.
This is Jerry from Vermont.
Sure, Jerry, go ahead.
Well, I want to just say one thing about that last question, and that is Apple Accessibility is wonderful. I spent an hour and a half on it today with someone, and she helped me fix the voiceover thing on my Mac, but that's not what I'm asking about.
Okay.
What I'm asking about is, since the chaos on Twitter, and I don't want to get into political feelings about it or anything else, I want to get rid of Twitter. I've just had it with Twitter. I have Twitterific, and I used to have something on the Mac that was a Twitter client. And of course, I think I have Twitter on the Mac too. How do I get rid of it so that it's gone? I don't want any part of it anymore.
Okay, so you want to delete that app, right?
Yeah, I want to delete all of the Twitter apps and email, I get emails from it and everything else. So
Okay.
anybody got any
This is
suggestions?
Brad, go ahead.
Hi, Fred.
If you download the official Twitter app instead of
have.
these third party, there should be something in there that says close your account. I've seen it on mine. And
Okay.
it's on like the main page. If you swipe on down wherever your settings, your profile. I know I've seen it. But I know you can't do it from these third party ones because they're just accessing your account. You need the official one from Twitter, and you should find it in, download it for your iPhone and you'll find it in there. You may be able to go to Twitter through a web browser and do it, but I'm not sure about that. I just know I have seen close my account in the Twitter app.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Thank you. I also will delete all those third party apps too, and that should help. Yeah.
That shouldn't really matter, but just closing your account through the official Twitter app will close that account. That should stop everything.
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right. Okay.
This is
This is Desi in Phoenix, and
Hi.
I am. Hi, I
Go
have
ahead,
a
Desi.
question about. Seems like ever since maybe the new emergency SOS thing came onto the phone or whatever, excuse me, I can't use I have an iPhone 14 Pro, and I can't use my side button to turn voiceover on and off anymore.
Okay.
It doesn't do it. And I'm wondering where I can go to fix that. I just can't remember. I've done some looking around, but I can't seem to pinpoint it.
Okay. Who wants to respond to that?
Okay, this is Herbie. Am I coming through?
Yes, you are.
Okay. A couple of things. First of all, I do want to mention real quick that we are wonderful too here at iBUG. I know there's talk about Apple accessibility, but I just want to mention we are wonderful too here at iBUG. Now, Desi, I would check under the accessibility settings in I'm saying we're wonderful now. Go to accessibility and there is an option for shortcut, like accessibility, like your different keys, like what they can,
shortcut.
Accessibility shortcut, yeah, and what they
all
trigger.
the way at the bottom.
Yep.
Okay. Great. I'll go check that. Yeah, I just couldn't remember or think what to do. And I thought, this is really weird. And I have no idea why it started happening or not happening. But anyway, well, thank you very much. I'll check that out.
Right. I have noticed since I set up a new phone, some of my settings have, a few of them have been changed. So you kind of have to double check on some of those if you're having issues, but I had one today. Okay, so let's move on.
This is Jerry.
Jerry, go ahead.
Just a quick question for Herbie. Herbie, you said we're talking before about I believe you said it's the Umail app for voicemail. Is that a free app to use?
All right, so this is Herbie.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it is free, and there is also a paid version if you want that, which gets rid of ads and gives you more transcriptions and things like that. I just stick with the free account, but so there is both a free and a paid version, and you can do either one. It does not ask for any card info or anything like that. So, there you go.
This is Jerry.
Yep.
Go ahead. Yeah, Jerry.
So it is called Umail though, the one you've been talking about before. Okay, thank you.
Yes. And this is Herbie. Just to remind everybody that may not have been on past calls, Umail is an alternative to the voicemail app on your phone. And it's an easier and I think a little bit more accessible way of accessing voicemail than the built-in one. Umail also does a lot with spam blocking and things like that. It's not as heavy-handed as some of the other spam blocking options out there, which is what I like. So, because you've got ones that can block a lot of known numbers, and Umail is really good about just eliminating some of the more oddball phone numbers that might call you or whatever. So just thought I'd mention that for anybody else that might be interested.
Yeah. Thank
Can
you.
I just ask, this is Jerry from Vermont.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jerry.
Can I just ask a question? Would you spell that mail? Is it mail? Like Ulysses mail? You?
Herbie, how do you?
So it is. Okay, so all one word, Youmail.
Oh, okay. So it's, thanks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Good. So let's
And
move on.
This is Herbie.
Another question?
On some, yes, actually, this is something different.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, just something really important. I wanted to mention that I recently heard about deleting your account on social media. I just wanted to mention real quick that I've heard it may not be a good idea because a lot of it kind of opens you up for people to make it easier to steal your identity. So it might be better if you don't want to be in a social media platform, like leave your account up there, but just delete all the apps and, do what you can to unsubscribe from emails and stuff. So I just wanted to throw that out there that I recently came across that I thought that was rather interesting. So,
all right, thank you. Do we have another question?
This is Suva.
Yeah, Suva, go ahead.
Hey, just a quick question about iOS 16.1 or 16. If anybody, found any bugs or how stable it is from the 15 version. So yeah, I just saw into the pop-ups and trying to figure out if it's a good idea to upgrade.
Yeah, general. Anybody want to just give any general comments on 16.1?
This is Jerry from Vermont.
Okay, Jerry, go ahead.
I found that of 16, I think the latest one is 16.1.1. Before I updated to that in 16.1, I was having wicked problems maintaining a Zoom meeting, just being in a Zoom meeting. VoiceOver would crash and it was awful. So I finally got off the meeting call. I didn't really even get into the meeting for more than about 30 seconds. But I then upgraded my phone. I called Apple Accessibility and they said, oh yeah, all these VoiceOver things, the crashes and all that have gotten fixed with the latest and greatest. I think it's 16.1. Herbie probably knows better, but I upgraded to it and it's been perfect ever since. So upgrade to the latest and greatest is my advice.
Right. And I want to be careful here because we could spend the next 2 hours talking about iOS 16.1 bugs or 16.1.1. My impression is in general, it's pretty solid. There's still a number of bugs, but they're pretty minor. But I'll throw it out to people, but keep in mind, you just give general observations right now because we could spend all night on this.
This is Sri.
Yeah, Sri, go ahead.
I was going to say, I also think it's pretty stable. I think if you can tolerate the issues with Siri and dictation, everything else works pretty well.
Yeah. Any other general comments?
This is Herbie.
This is Brad.
Yeah, Herbie, go ahead, and then Brad.
So real quick, perhaps where they could be the most potential for bugs is I know a lot of Braille display users still suffer with things. So if you're one, that is probably might be the most significant reason to be leery of updates, but then it seems like it could just be a matter of exchanging one evil for another. I don't use a Braille display myself, so I can't comment on anything specific, but I know I always hear a lot of comments on, oh, this is now broken in Braille, but this is now fixed. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, good. Thanks, Herbie. Brad, did you want to throw something in?
I was just going to say, every version of iOS has got something quirky about it. And like Sri said, there's some dictation quirks, but I really don't find any showstoppers or anything that was any bigger of an issue than there was in 15 or even the latest 15.7. I mean, when it first came out, yeah, there were some few things, but they certainly got that fixed by 16.1. I don't know what 16.1.1 did. I didn't notice it solving anything I was experiencing, but overall, I don't regret updating to 16.16, and I wouldn't tell anyone to not do it.
Right. Let's go ahead and cut it off. 16.2, I think, is coming out in another 2 or 3 weeks, so we'll have a new version to talk about. Let's go ahead and move on to another question.
This is Suva. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure, Stephen. Who has the next question? I know you're out there.
This is Jody.
Jody, thank
I
you.
have a question.
Well,
yeah. Is this?
Wait.
Is
this Chico?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Chico. Hold on. Let's see what Jody has to say, and then we'll plug you in. Jody, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, I was just going to make a quick comment about Bard 2.0. One of the features that I've discovered that I really like that I wanted to share is if you go to the title of a book under your bookshelf and you swipe up, then you have the option of looking at all the books that are in that category, which is really nice. I don't know if anybody's tried that or not, but it's just a nice feature. So if you go to, I'm reading a Tom Sullivan book, if you swipe up, then it will say all books in disability or all books in inspiration or whatever like that. So it's nice to be able to open up the category and see other books in that category.
Well, and if you swipe up again, I think you can get all the books by that author, and
Yes.
that's really nice.
Oh, it is. It's wonderful. So just, go to the bookshelf, go to the title and just swipe and swipe up and you've got all kinds of options that were never there before.
Yeah.
This is Pat. They also,
Pat.
one of the swipes, I was just going to add to that.
Wait, hang on. Hold on. Because everybody just remember, you have to wait until the facilitator acknowledges you. So before that, we have Chico. So
Right. Yeah. I think Chico probably had a new question. Is that right, Chico?
This is Shrey.
Yes, brand new question, brand new.
Okay. Let's go back. Was there a comment? There was a comment on the Bard.
Yeah, this is Shrey.
And then we'll go to Chico. Yeah, Pat, go ahead.
Yes, they did add some things previously, and that was you can also flip up, and if it's a series, it'll list all the books in the series. Also, when you are on the search field where you have it at the bottom, did you notice there's a subscription for the series? So they will put a new book in the series in your wish list, and they usually send an email to tell you have a new book on your wish list.
Right.
From
Okay.
blah series.
Yeah.
That's
thank you.
all I wanted to add.
Yeah. Sri, did you have a comment on Bard or?
Yeah, I just had a question. When you guys mentioned about the authors that come up for the categories, then do you swipe right to go through the list of the categories?
Jody?
This is Jody.
Go ahead.
You do a one finger double tap on it and then it will bring it up.
Okay. And then you just swipe up and down again to go down that list?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
No, you swipe left or right to go down the list.
Yeah, you flick right. Yeah, flick right. Flick left, right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's move on to Chico and his question. Chico, you're on the air. Okay.
Okay. Some questions here. Is this time for new iBUG users, or I have to wait for my question after the iBUG?
No. Go ahead. Go ahead and ask your question.
Okay. I have a new device to my account, and that is the iPhone XS Max, XS X Max, or XS.
Okay.
Max. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
I'm just learning how to use it, and I also have a 7 Plus that I'm trying to hopefully get rid of. Because I'm used to the phone with the home button. The 10s Max does not have its home button,
Right.
and I'm brand new at using the one without the home button, and some other stuff. I'm trying in Messenger. I'm trying to delete some messages, and I think every time I delete a message, it takes me to the weather app. It's not deleting the message. Maybe I have a different keyboard open, and I'm supposed to have the regular keyboard, but
Okay.
or something is saying I can't delete the message.
Right. So Chico, you have some basic using voiceover questions, how to use voiceover. Is that correct?
What did you say?
You have some basic, just how to use voiceover questions. Is that correct?
Yes, and also how to use the phone in general.
Right.
And
yeah. Sandhya, do you
and,
want to talk about the mentor program or?
Yeah, we can help you if you want to fill out the application, and you can get into the mentoring program, and we'll evaluate that. And I mean, I guess his initial question. Hang on.
I need assistance.
Okay, 1 second. So the first thing is you have to fill out the application, and then we will evaluate. But I think your initial question is, how do you are you asking how do you open the phone without a home button, or is that what you're asking? Because you had several questions in there. So let's break it down into one thing.
Because I haven't set it up my Face ID yet,
Okay.
and I called the accessibility lady at Apple. I called the.
Okay, so some of that is a little bit, hang on. So I think some of this is a little bit beyond what we can help you with right now in this call. And I think you're on the right track. If you go to Apple Accessibility, they'll help you set up the, Face ID and that kind of thing. And then once you're, kind of set up on your phone, then you can start learning the gestures and so forth. Okay. So that's, I think, what we would start with. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, go for it. Keep going.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So let's move on to another question.
Sharon,
New York Sharon.
New York Sharon. Yeah.
All right, come on.
With this accent, it's kind of hard to say no, not New York. So I have a question on the calendar. So I usually use Siri to set up an appointment, and if I say lunch with John Smith, then if John Smith is in my contacts, she, being Siri, I just make her a person, will sometimes sends out an email inviting the person to the call or the lunch, and I'm just putting it in my calendar to remind myself to go have lunch with this person. Is there a way to sort of disable Siri from automatically sending out invites like that? Am I being clear?
Yeah, you're being very clear. Okay, so who can respond to that? How do you set up an appointment without sending an email invitation or an invitation to whoever the meeting is with or the lunch is with? Who can respond to that?
This is Jerry from Vermont.
Go ahead, Jerry.
I think it's actually in your calendar, Sharon. If you go down in the settings for your calendar, I think it's under invitations. You get a setting that says, do you want to make automatic? I think it's automatic invitations when you set an appointment. And I think it's in the calendar, but it could also be in Siri. But I think there is a setting where you can disable that.
Okay, so go into your settings app and in calendar and see if you've got an item there for invitations to turn that off, or maybe in your Siri settings, right, Jerry?
Yes. I think it's in the calendar though, because calendar kind of deals with all of the invitations, back and forth that you get. You might also want to check in the calendar's inbox, and see if it's in there, because there are, you can reply to invitations in there. When you set something up, or if you have family inboxes set up, you can reply or not reply or whatever. So it may be stuck in there somewhere.
Okay.
And maybe some other folks have more clear answers.
Yeah, let's see if anybody else has anything to add.
Yeah,
This is
Dana.
this is Joe.
Okay, Dana and then Joe.
Yeah, the way I do set up appointments is I voice it and say, make an appointment, make a calendar appointment on such and such a day with John Smith at 10 a.m. titled lunch. And it won't send out an invitation. That's how I do it.
Okay, Joe, do you want to add something?
Yes. I was told on a different program that if you avoid the term with and just say the person's name and the date as you add to the calendar, it won't call them. It's when you add in with that they send out the invitation.
Interesting. Okay, anybody else want to throw in a comment? Okay, good. That helps, Sharon?
So if I'm going to go into the calendar and see if there's, because normally, she asks you before she does things, but these invites, she's just sending them out. So I'll look under that calendar and I'll try not to use the word with. Thank you.
All right, you bet. Okay, who has another question? Come on, guys. I know somebody out there has a question.
Can I ask another question?
Sure, Chico, go ahead.
This is for there's a form on the iBUG Today website. I think there's two of them. I try opening those, and they're not opening up. They're supposed to be opening up as like Word documents, but they're not opening up like Word documents. They're opening up as files, and I think it's the mentor and the mentee forms. They're opening up as files and they're supposed to be opening up as Word documents. And when I do that, when it's supposed to open up as a Word document, it's supposed to tell me my name and it's supposed to guide me on what to do for each form. But it's
This is Sandhya.
Go ahead, Sandhya.
All right. So yeah, it is a basic document. It's not going to have fields like you can, like normally you can have tabs and it takes you to each field. It's not like a Google file. It's not like a Google document. It's just a plain document. And so you'd have to go through and type in your name and other information where it's indicated, but they are not fields that you would fill in that VoiceOver would navigate. Right now it's that way, but hopefully we will improve it. All right.
All right. So let's go ahead and move on. Let's get another question. We have a little bit of time before the 8 o'clock break. Who's next?
Dana.
There. I knew Dana would have a question. Good. Come
How
on.
did you know?
I was about ready to call on you.
Uh-huh. Well, about a month and a half ago, I had to start my phone, factory reset my phone, and ever since then it's just really, really sensitive to my touch. And I was wondering if there was any way to fix that. I went into settings and I even picked the slowest and the heaviest, whatever you call it, the tap, the slowest tap that you can choose, and it didn't fix that problem. And it takes me several tries to tap on something and to get it to take. Like sometimes, even on Zoom, when I'm muting or and unmuting, I have to tap like 4 or 5 times to unmute and mute before I can tap, or before I can get it.
So
am I making sense?
Yeah,
I'm
you're wondering
sorry.
if there's like a screen sensitivity setting.
Pardon me. I'm sorry. I coughed and missed what you said.
So you're wondering if there's a screen sensitivity setting?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody have any input on that?
This is Jerry from Vermont.
Okay, Jerry, go ahead.
Silver Spring.
Okay, we got Jerry talking. Go ahead, Jerry.
Chico, are you using guided access at all?
No, Dana's asking the question.
Oh,
Right,
I'm
Dana,
sorry.
yeah, Dana's asking the question.
Okay.
And
Dana, are you
yeah,
using
Jerry.
guided access at all?
No.
No. There is in accessibility, I believe it is. There is a setting that controls the sensitivity of your taps. And if you go down in accessibility, maybe Herbie can weigh in on this too. It will increase the sensitivity of the tap so that you won't have to be tapping 4 or 5 times to get it to happen, Dana.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was that? I'm sorry. What? This is Dana.
Go ahead, Dana.
What was that called?
I believe it's under accessibility, and it may be under the guided access thing where you can change the sensitivity of your tapping.
Okay.
Right. Does anybody else have any thoughts on screen sensitivity?
This is Roy.
Okay. Let's go with Roy and then Pat.
Okay. Dana, have you thought about trying the split tap where you touch the button and then with another finger touch another area of the screen?
This is Dana.
Go ahead, Dana.
Yeah, actually I do that all the time, Roy, because doing with one finger is just driving me nuts.
Okay. All right. Pat, did you have a comment? Go ahead.
Yes, under accessibility, there is a touch under there. And if you turn it off, then you should be able to tap easily like you did before. I don't know when they added that, but you can turn it off. If you turn it on, you can adjust the setting. But if you try turning it off and see if that helps. Because one of my friends was having trouble, and I found that setting. I don't know when they added that touch, but I had her turn it off and that worked.
Okay, so a couple things to try there, Dana.
Okay, thank you. This is Dana.
Yeah.
Touch and accessibility. Okay, thank you.
Okay, good. All right, do we have another question?
Okay, this is Bridget. I guess I asked something.
Come on.
Is it a simple way that you can send a message to everyone in your contact, like a group contact?
Okay, so you're wanting to send out a group email
Yeah,
or a group message?
yes, a group message, maybe like a text.
Okay, all right. So who can help Bridget with sending a group text message?
Pat.
Okay, Pat, go ahead.
Okay, on the text screen, if you open the text screen, there is a compose, and if you swipe down, it'll have a field to enter names, and if you swipe right, it'll go to your contacts, and you can add the people one at a time in there in the group, and then that group will stay there. So if you ever need to send something out to that group again, you'll be able to do it. So
Okay.
you set up the group first, and then you type the message and send it, and everybody should get it.
Okay. Okay, anybody want to add to that?
This is Jody.
Jody, go ahead.
Yeah, you don't even have to go to your contacts. What you can do is go to the field where you put in the person's name, and then add that person, and then put in the next name, and then add that person, and you just go down the list of all your friends if they're in your contacts. Or you could even do it just by phone number if you know what the phone number is. And then send out your message, and then that group will be saved in your list of text messages, and you can always just go back to that group again when you want to send out another message.
Right. But yeah, just to be clear, you can't set up a group where I could just type in iBUG group and it would automatically go to everybody that I had included in my iBUG group. Is that correct? I could type individual names, but I can't create a group.
Yeah, the one, I wish you could do that under email. I wish you could set up email groups, but you can't.
Yeah. Okay. Did it help, Bridget?
Yes, especially that
Pat.
second one, yes.
Let's let Bridget finish. Go ahead, Bridget.
Yes, the second one, I tried.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Pat, did you have a comment?
Yes, they're on your contacts. When you open up the contacts, up in the upper left-hand corner, there is a list. They use the word list instead of group. So if you tap on the list, you can set up a group name, and then you can add people in that group. So if you go back and open that list and find the group name that you put in on the list, when you tap list, they will, if you swipe right, it'll say send email to all in the list. So there is a way to do that now.
Okay. Okay. Anybody had experience doing that?
I have done it.
Okay. Anybody else? All right. Well, thank you, Pat.
You're welcome.
All right. So let's move on to the next question. We got a few minutes left. Anybody?
Arlene.
Arlene, welcome. Go
Hi.
ahead.
I back on the previous question, how do you, if you have more than one group, how do you distinguish between the groups? Pat said something about giving it a name or something. When do you do that? After you make the group or before you make the group?
Okay.
Pat,
Yeah,
you,
Pat, go ahead.
I believe in the right-hand corner, there is an add. So you would add and you would do the name of the group, however you wanted it, and then you would add names to the group. So you can have, I don't know, a ton of different groups. I have about 6 in there right now. So you have a different name, and you know, it's very easy if you want to send it to all of the people. And I find it very helpful.
Right. Yeah, I know I tried to set up groups a while back, and my experience was you could not do that on the iPhone. You'd had to go to the computer and go to iCloud to set up groups, to set up a group, but I may have to try that again. Sri, did you have a comment?
Yeah, I was going to say, so basically, once you create the individuals in the message app, if you go to the more info button and you swipe right, it'll say there's a name field for the group. Now, one thing you have to remember, this will only work if everybody is it's an Apple account. So if you have one Android user in the group, I don't believe you can create a name for it.
Well, hold on. This is Sandhya. I think you're talking about messages and she's talking about email. I think.
I thought she was talking about messages.
Yeah, she's talking about messages. Yeah. And my comment, actually, I think that was my experience in email, but yeah.
Okay,
I think
sorry.
Pat, I think she was asking about messages. So you can
This is
create groups
Pat.
and Pat, go ahead.
Yes. For years they didn't. I used to have a slider phone and I could do groups in there, and it really irritated me. And about once or twice a year, I would call Apple Accessibility and complain about it. And I don't know if it was one of the 15 updates, they did add the list option. So it's just been fairly recent. And I'm like, yay, they finally did it.
Yeah. Sri, did you have did you have a comment you wanted to make?
No, nope.
Okay. All right. Okay. Do we have any other questions? Short question. We have
Jody, I've got a short question.
1 minute question. Go, Jody.
So in 16.1, you mentioned that there's glitches with Dictate and Siri, and I haven't updated yet. What kind of glitches are there with Dictate and Siri?
Okay. Who wants to? Siri, go ahead.
I'm just going to say, accuracy is not very good. Now, sometimes I have to repeat the same thing a few times to get it right. I think if you call Apple Accessibility, they'll tell you the two big issues that people complain about, or the instance they're getting, is with Siri and dictations just not being as accurate.
This is Jody. As accurate as it used to be with 15?
This is Sri. I would say it's
Yeah.
gotten worse.
Okay. Thank you, Sri.
Yeah. All right. Dana, go ahead.
Yeah, dictation also needs to be longer. It doesn't give enough time. Sometimes I have to, sometimes it only gives it like 3-4 words and it cuts it off.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
Give it more time.
All right.
Sandhya, time to break.
Time for break. Yes,
All right.
sir. Thank you, Greg, very much. Okay, very busy there. And now we will start the second half of our program by giving anybody who didn't get to say hello a chance to say who you are and where you're from. Who would like to go?
Sharon from New York.
Welcome, Sharon.
Thank you.
Marcia from Sarasota.
Hey there. Welcome, Marcia.
Janet from Colorado.
Hey, Janet.
Marty, Philadelphia.
Hello.
Roy,
Hey.
Texas.
Roy and Marvin, welcome to you both. Who else? Anybody else want to say hi? Okay, well, all right.
Hi, Nikki's here from San Francisco.
Hello, welcome,
Just
Nikki.
just got home.
All right.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, anybody else want to say?
Arlene, North Carolina.
There she is. Welcome, Miss Arlene.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay. I wish I was nice like Miss Arlene. I'll never be that nice, huh, Greg? I guess not. Okay, I can try. Okay.
You are nice. You're very
No,
sweet.
no. Okay. All right. Now we are going to get started. It is time for the big reveal for our movie for Friday night. And let's see, we have our very own iBUG guy with those amorphous clues. Mr. iBUG guy, are you out there? I know you're out there, but
Yes, 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 I am back.
I didn't know you went away.
What?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So, yeah, we've got another great movie coming up day after Turkey Day. Have your ham and turkey and dressing and cranberries, and then come visit us Friday evening at 7:30 for the pre-movie social, and 8 o'clock we'll start the movie, and then afterwards we'll have some discussion about the movie and some trivia. So love to have you join us if you're not doing anything else. Hopefully you've got better things to do than to spend it with us. All right. It is now time for
Are you okay?
All right. So we've got some fabulous clues to help you try to guess the movie. And as always, say your name, wait to be recognized before shouting out the title. We have 5 fabulous clues, and you get 1 guess per clue and 5 guesses total. So let's get started with clue number 1.
Oh.
All right, our film this week portrays a love-hate romance, which spawned many similar meet cutes.
What?
What does that mean?
Meet cutes?
Meet cutes. That is a genre of movies.
Right, I'll
This is
take your
Shree.
word for it.
Shree.
Lethal Weapon?
Lethal Weapon
A romantic comedy, all right.
is definitely a love-hate romance, but not the one we're looking for. Pat.
Fatal Attraction.
Fatal Attraction is also another great love-hate romance, sort of romance. But guess what, Pat? We saw that about a month ago.
This is Marty.
Marty.
War of the Roses.
War of the Roses, another great love-hate romance. And guess what, Marty? got to move on to clue number 2.
Good. Okay.
They, who's they? They are falling in love through the mail as each other's anonymous pen pals.
Oh. Sharon,
Sharon,
You've got mail?
You Got Mail is a love-hate romance, sort of. And yes, they did mail anonymously, I think. But that's not it either. Sorry, Sharon. Good try. Anyone else?
Dana.
Dana.
The lake house.
Say that one more time.
The lake house.
The lake house.
The Legos.
Lake house. Lake
The
house.
lake house.
Lake house. Okay. You need to blow your nose or something there.
They're so mean.
Well, I have COVID.
Okay, just keep it over there, Dana. Okay, keep going.
Nikki?
Unfortunately, it is not Legos or the lake house.
Nikki?
Nikki.
I don't remember how this started, but I remember that Basic Instinct was a real love-hate movie.
Oh, Basic Instinct. Basic Instinct. Basic Instinct. Unfortunately, that's not it either. Sorry. Good try.
This is Shri.
Shri.
I think you
Letters
already had a
Juliet.
guess.
Not on clue 2. No.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Say that one more time.
Letters to Juliet.
Letters to Juliet. Letters to Juliet. Should I caucus? No.
No,
I
keep the seat.
already know the answer is absolutely not. Good try, Shri. All right, moving on to clue number 3. This is gonna blow it out of the water. Meaning no one's gonna get it. No. This rom-com is set in Budapest, Hungary.
Oh, wow. Sharon,
Sharon,
She loves me?
she loves me. She loves me not. She loves me. She loves me not. Not this time, Sharon. Good try. Come again.
Dana.
Dana.
Transformers.
Oh, Dana. Dana. Dana.
Look what you did, Dana.
Pull it away from Shri, and Shri's going to be so angry at you
This is Shri.
for not getting it. Sorry.
Okay, go on.
Shri couldn't be mad at me.
Go on, go on, go on,
This
go
is
on.
Shri.
Shri.
Is it the Brad Pitt movie with the something with the Tibet?
The what?
A Brad Pitt movie in Tibet.
I think it's
Brad
Tibet
Pitt
something.
in Tibet.
Doesn't even make sense.
Okay, go.
Unfortunately, Tibet is right next door to Budapest. And it's not the one we're looking for.
This is Jerry from Vermont.
Oh,
This is
go
Jerry
ahead,
from
Jerry.
Vermont.
Go ahead, Jerry.
I don't know that we've we do this one, but the incredible lightness of being.
We have not seen it. And guess what? We're still not going to see it. Good
Okay.
try, Jerry. All right, moving on. Clue number 4. The male lead is fired without explanation on the night that he is going to meet his secret love.
Yeah, crickets.
Well, it's Sharon. It's the
oh.
movie that the musical She Loves Me was based on, but I don't remember the name of it. I don't know the name of it.
A Little Night. Oh no.
What was it?
I didn't even understand that. What you
She's
said.
saying, okay, well, anyway, no, move on.
Nobody understood that one.
Good try. Good
I
try.
did.
Thank you.
Any other guesses on 4 before I move to 5 and the final clue?
Put us out of our misery.
He discovers his secret love unbeknownst to her.
What? Well,
Say that one again.
Oh,
Oh.
I forgot to tell you something missing out of that clue.
Oh.
Oh,
kidding.
God.
Everything.
And of course, these clues were provided by Elizabeth Holmes.
Before she went to jail, huh?
Oh, I don't have a good word processor in there. Okay, hurry up. Come on.
All right, I'm going to try to decipher what she meant. He discovers, that night from the previous clue, he discovers his secret love unbeknownst to her.
Oh, yeah, that was really clear. Okay, I think that's it.
Looks like we may have stumped them. Should I give them a bonus clue?
Yeah, it's not gonna help.
All right, one bonus clue. Our film this week is older than probably everybody. I didn't go down the list, but I'm assuming it is older than everyone in the meeting tonight.
Combine.
Like 82 years.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, that's older than me.
All right.
So it's made in 1940.
That is correct. You are very good at math, unlike others.
No, I'm not. It's just 5 years before I was born.
Unlike Sandhya.
All right, our film this week is The Shop Around the Corner, starring
Jimmy Stewart.
James Stewart.
Oh,
And
that is the movie that was the play.
Sullivan.
Yes. This is so she was very, very close, but we needed the movie title. But you're absolutely right. That was based on She Loves
but she doesn't know it.
All
How
right.
could she? But she
All
doesn't
right,
show
so
it.
we're gonna save our prize this week, and maybe we'll give it away this Friday. So come again Friday, and we will have more clues and see if you can guess it then.
What? Okay. Yeah, we'll try again and we might get it right. Okay. Thank you, Mr. McCulloch. That wasn't painful at all. And now bye. Shop of Horrors. Maybe that refers to the clues. Okay, anyway, here we go. Okay, we have survived the Michael's movie minutia, and now we're back to our scheduled program. All the silliness is done. Okay, we're gonna hand it back to Greg for the iBug Bites segment. Greg, are you there?
I am here.
Good. Glad
So
you're here.
tonight we're going to
Oh,
talk
boy.
relationships.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
not that kind of call.
Do we have any questions? Now, so on your phone, and a lot of you probably do this, but just in case you don't, you can set up relationships on your phone so that you can tell the S lady, call my brother, text my brother, call whoever is related to you, or you can put in a custom label. Like if I was calling Sri, I'd put in, oh, great exalted one, or oh, voiceover, whatever. Anyway, so you can create your own, or you can for any relationship. So let me go into contacts.
Speech on.
So I'm going to open my contacts app.
Doc. Contacts. Contacts.
Okay, I'm gonna flick right.
Contacts. Add. But search. Dictate. Button. Section index. Adjustable. Diane Bailey. Copy. Heading.
Okay, now
a little louder, Greg.
Okay, let me get closer to the mic.
There you go.
This is interesting because if you flick right, if you go to the top of contacts and you flick right, you don't hear your own ID card. But then if you flick back to the left,
Autospec Automotive. International. Austin Homebrew.
Ooh, Austin Homebrew.
Little more louder.
Heading. Add. Button.
There you go.
Okay.
Philip Baker.
There you go. Good.
Lists. Back button. Contact. Add. Search. Dictate. But section index. Adjustable. Dictate. Button. Search. Section L. Allen. Section index. Dictate. Button. Search field.
Okay. And as fate would have it on a live demo. All right, so let me see if I can find my ID card.
Adventure Log Gold. Search field. Cap Tom Adkins. Cap Hey. Heading.
Okay, you're hearing all my contacts.
Search field. Dictate. Button.
Friends.
Section index. Adjustable. Dictate. Button. Search. Obvious tree trimming. Greg. My card.
Okay, finally.
There you are.
Jesus, finally I got to my card. Okay, so I'm going to double tap that.
Contact photo for Greg. Image. A photo of illustrations.
Okay, so now I'm gonna flick through a whole bunch here and get down to some of the relationships that I've set up. Actually, I'm going to go into, at the top right, I'm going to go into edit.
86% battery. Edit button. Done. Dimmed.
Okay, so I've gone to my ID, my personal ID, and I've opened that, and then I've gone to edit. And now I'm going to flick down a bunch of times until I get to some of these relationships I've set up.
Add address, birth, add date, button, grandson, button.
Okay, so I set up one for my grandson, and then I have his name. I've set up one
Daughter, button.
For my daughter.
Available. Wife, button.
I've set up one for my wife.
Available. Granddaughter, button.
I've set up one for my granddaughter, and if I keep flicking.
Jenna Pilford, tech, add related name, button.
Okay, so add related name. Okay, so if I double tap on that.
Add related text field is editing, related name, insertion point at start.
Okay, now this is
available.
This is a text field where I would type in somebody's name. Like I could type in Sandhya Rao. Okay, so I'm not going to go through that right now, but anyway, you type in whatever name at that point. Now, if we flick left one time.
Mother, button.
Okay,
available.
So it brings up mother. Okay, I can double tap on that. And
cancel button.
And this is going to bring up a list of just all sorts of relationships, mother, father, brother, daughter, and I can double tap on whatever relationship I want. Let me go through a few of these.
Edit, dictate, selected, father, parent, brother, sister, son, daughter, child, friend, spouse, part, assistant, other, manager, assistant, spouse, partner, assistant, manager, other, all labels, button.
Okay.
All labels, button.
Okay, so it says
add custom label, all labels.
Yeah. So it says all labels. So if I double tap on that all labels, it'll pull up a more extensive list of just all sorts of different daughter of eldest son or daughter of youngest son or all sorts of combinations. Or at the bottom, it'll bring up a custom label where I can type whatever I want in. So that would be how you add, you create a relationship through your personal ID. Okay, now another shorter option is, let me get out of this.
Text field is edit.
Okay, another way to do that would just be to ask ask Siri, the S lady. Well, you could just say Sandhya Rao is my friend, which that's a stretch, but okay. So let me try that. Sandhya Rao is my friend.
Sorry, Overcast doesn't have the unplayed content.
Okay, let me try.
Text
Let
field
me
is
try
edited.
different
Name,
words.
insertion point as cancel button done dimmed but cancel button done dimmed button contact photo for Greg first name Greg text field cancel button done dimmed.
Okay, let's try this again. This worked this morning, honest. Sandhya Rao is my friend.
Which one? Carol Banks, John and Carol Kucher, Bill and Carol Perbaugh.
Okay.
Cancel button. Alert. Are you sure you want to discard your discard changes button?
Okay.
Contacts back button.
Let me try this again. My friend is Sandhya Rao.
Okay. Do you want me to remember that Sandhya Rao is your friend?
Yes.
Got it. Sandhya Rao is your friend.
Okay. So Sandhya Rao is now my friend. So I can, if I want to send a message to Sandhya,
Contacts back button. Contacts back button. Speech off.
I can just say, send a message to my friend, or I could send an email to my friend, or anyway, it's kind of cool. It's kind of fun to play with. You can create all sorts of labels and either have real relationships or just make up some labels and have some fun with it. So that is relationships on the iPhone. Do we have any questions?
That was very cool. All right. Okay. Who has questions for Greg about contacts
This
and
is Herbie.
relationships?
Yeah, Herbie, go ahead.
I was gonna say, don't feel bad about this morning and it working because Siri is being extremely difficult at the moment. So it's her, not you. So,
Yeah,
so.
thank you. I did that this morning, and I sent a message to my friend Sandhya, and it worked fine. And then I deleted that relationship. Oh, let me add, on the relationships that you create, if you want to delete one, you just go to that mother, father, whatever you've labeled that, and you can flick down and then double tap on delete, and it goes away. Okay. Anybody else have a question about relationships?
Nikki,
Yeah, go ahead. Nikki,
which
go ahead.
one? Oh,
Nikki.
okay. Because Cherie too, I heard. Okay. Okay. So you said that you added Sandhya as a friend. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you said, call my friend. But what if you have more than one friend?
Well,
Does
you
it
can't.
then ask you?
No, I tried friend 1 and friend 2, and no, she won't play that game. But
Oh, okay.
you could label it something. You could come up with a different label.
Like
But
funny friend or
yeah. And
crazy
she
friend?
might take that. You're just gonna have to experiment a little.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Sri, did you have a
Yeah, it's
comment?
kind of like what Nikki was asking. So when you were going down the list, you had 2 granddaughters, didn't you, in the list?
I had one
Oh, you had
granddaughter
one.
and one grandson.
I see. Okay. I thought you had 2.
But you can have like daughter of eldest child, or daughter of the youngest child. So you could, but I mean, that gets kind of awkward in remembering, how you have that labeled. So I don't know how
So-
useful that would be.
So this is great. So when you
Yeah.
create these unique ones, is there a way to see a summary of what you've created so that you remember?
Yeah. If you go into your ID card and click on edit, well, I think they'll show up just on, if you just flick down, but if not, then double tap on the edit. And then when you flick down, you'll hear that once you get past, I think it's past your birth date, then you'll hear your listing of any relationships you've created.
All right. Well, thank you. And I appreciate the kind word about me.
Okay.
Nikki has another question.
Okay, Nikki, go.
Okay, so would it be possible to label people by number? For example, when we used to have, well, I forget what you call it, when you punch in a number and the person's name would be there and that's all you had to do, and the phone would dial the number.
Kind of like a speed dial.
Yeah, speed dial, that's it. So
Yeah.
would it work if you use numbers for people?
I'm gonna guess no, but
okay.
again, I encourage you to play with it. I mean, I tried several and they didn't work, and then I tried others and they did work. So yeah.
Thank you.
This is
Well,
Jerry
one of the
from
things I
Vermont.
was going to, I'm
Oh.
sorry, can I finish? I just made one more
Yeah,
point.
sure.
I was
Yeah,
going to
go
say
ahead,
that
Nick.
if you have somebody with a big family and you start messing around with youngest child of earliest granddaughter or something like that, half the time the parents don't know which is which anyway.
I know.
They,
Well, it's like
they
it's
probably
like
end up with all the wrong people.
it ends up sounding like a genealogy chart. Yeah, Jerry, did you have a comment?
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure.
So you created all these, like your grandson of your oldest daughter or whatever. If you open your ID card and you flick down to say your grandson, then you double tap it. Will it call that person, or it'll give you the option to email or call? How does that work?
No, I don't know. I think if you open your ID card and you flick down, I don't think you're going to see relationships. I think you have to go into edit. And then when you flick down, you'll see everybody that you've set up as a relationship. But no, you wouldn't. You'd have to just tell Siri to call my brother, call my grandson, text my grandson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sri.
Yeah, Siri.
So if you share the VSC card of yourself, we won't see that, right?
I'm sorry, if you do what?
If you shared your contact, that as your, like your shared contact information to me, would I see all that information?
I don't know. Good question.
This is Sandhya.
Sandhya.
Yes, it will, because I made the mistake of sending something out and it had like my brother's information and my sister, and just all this stuff. So yeah, it will.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I think you got other people waiting here.
Okay. Who else?
Yeah,
Helene.
Dana.
Okay, Dana, go ahead.
Yeah. Since you added Sandhya as your friend, you cannot say like delete Sandhya as your friend.
I
as
could.
my friend.
And I may.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
you get mad at her.
Don't even think about it.
Okay. Because I
This is
thought you
how-
said the only way you could delete her as your friend was go, and swipe down and to delete and double tap.
No, if I go to edit and open up the edit screen on my personal, card, then I'll eventually get down to, it'll say friend and then flick right and it'll have her name. If I go back to that friend label and flick down, it'll give me an option to delete, and that'll just wipe out that whole entry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I could get rid of her.
Okay. Gotcha.
Helene is waiting.
Okay, Helene, go ahead.
Seems like a basic question, but what is your ID card?
It's right at the top of your contact list. Will be it'll have like Helene ID.
Oh.
It's right at the very if you just move around with your finger, explore with your finger, it'll be up at the top of your contact list, above the alpha listing.
Okay.
It should be. I wasn't having luck finding it tonight, but it should be up there.
This is Sandhya.
Sandhya.
So basically, it's the contact card for you. I mean, in your contacts, you have everybody else's contact, but you are at the very top. And then you could put your home address, you could put your, office, whatever different information that you want, or an email address for your work, and then it'll remember that. It knows that that's you. And so if you said, send an email to my office, it'll know that based on the information in that contact card. That's just a quick explanation. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is Helene.
Yeah, go ahead, Holly.
Can, so do I have to create that, or is
No.
it there automatic?
It's I'm gonna let somebody else answer that. I think it's just there automatic. Siri, go ahead.
Yeah, you can customize it because that's where your person, like when you fill out a form and it says your first name, last name, it's pulling from that contact. So, you know, what I've done is I've created a couple of different contact lists just to kind of cover the question I asked before, but you can go and customize your information in that contact card.
But is that created automatically when you set your phone up?
I think it just creates the first name, like your Apple ID information, but it doesn't fill in all the other information like your home, your work address.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sandhya, you
This is
ready to wrap
Jody.
this up, or Jody, go ahead.
Yeah, just one more quick comment. When you put your home address in there and your work address in there, when you're out walking, what I will do is I'll say, Siri, get directions to home, and then it will give me the directions to my address.
Yeah, I do that all the time when we're out, just directions
me too.
home, and she opens the Maps app and gives me directions.
All right.
Okay,
yes.
anybody? Yeah, Sandhya, go ahead.
Yeah, I think we're okay. Last question. We're actually spent a lot of time here. So. Okay, Sharon, go.
Oh, no, I didn't have one. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Okay, then. Thank you so much,
Pat.
Greg. And oh, Pat. There, Pat. Go ahead, Pat.
So if you send a text or an email, it's going to address it to their name, not the relationship,
Right.
correct?
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Very
you.
good. Now we're getting a bunch of
I have a
background
question.
noise, so we are all right. We're moving on. New topic. Just remember, if you want to ask a question, say your name. Okay. Okay. Yes, Chico.
Quick question on relationships. I think I have another question, but here's one on relationships. What two things on relationship? What if I want to delete a relationship and start add a brand new relationship? Like, okay, let's say I have a girlfriend, which I do. Let's say
Right. Hang on. Yeah, I think when Greg just talked about that, he talked about that is like you basically go into the edit and then you can delete that girlfriend and then you can put a new name. So you can do that. Okay.
Okay. That's
All right.
cool.
Very good. All right. Okay. Now, next new question from somebody. We've spent good time on this one. So time to move on. Who has a new question? Somebody that has not had a turn. We want to make sure everybody has a turn. We've had a couple of people that, so who would like to go? I know there's somebody out there that wants to ask a question.
Gary.
Go ahead.
I'm curious about the Find My app. How accessible is that?
Oh my goodness.
Wow. I don't think she knows anything about that app.
I'm still learning. Okay,
She's
who would like to
working on
talk
it.
about the Find My app?
See, I told you I'd have a question.
I know you did. Okay, well, I think it's. Anybody want to take
This
Find
is-
My?
It's
This is
Kathy.
Jerry.
Okay, Kathy hasn't had a turn. Go, Kathy.
So I use Find My to find my iPhone, my earpods when I drop them. And it is accessible, but sometimes it seems like you have to look for things a little bit. Excuse me. But so I don't know if I can really. So I lose my iPhone. I mean my earpods, and I go into Find My, and I think I go to devices, and then find where it says earpods, and then it excuse me, sorry. Then you have to tell it where it says you have to tell it to turn the sound on so you can hear the sound of your AirPods.
Right.
And once you do that, then I think it warns you to take out any ear because it might be loud, and then it makes the noise. So you kind of have to look a little for it's not sometimes it seems to me like it may change a little bit, but sometimes I have to look for the devices. It's sort of at the bottom half of the screen. And then,
Right.
you kind of have to look for the next thing. It's kind of touch and go, really, which isn't a good
So-
answer, but
I have AirPods myself, and do I need to go in there and assign them to Find My, or since I use them, does that just
No.
show them it's there?
yeah, I think it just shows they're there. If you go to Find My, it'll list things that you might have. I mean,
Okay.
it knows I have the AirPods, and that's where you'd also go for, I don't know, something else, but
Right.
it gives a couple of things.
You did perfect. That's exactly right. So you had devices. It's everything. All the devices that are on your Apple ID will show up there. Even old things. So it's kind of scary. You're like, do I really have all this stuff? You can find people. You can find, items that you created with your air tags and tracker devices like that. So it is very accessible. You just kind of, like anything else, learn to navigate it. And so definitely encourage you to use it. It's a great.
Oh yeah, I'll play with it. We were just talking about it the other day, in fact, and and I said, well, that's a good question. All this, instead of looking right now,
That's a great question.
I'll ask everybody tomorrow.
All right.
This is Terry.
Thank you. Okay. Go
Chico
ahead.
Tanaka.
Okay. Hang on, Chico. Okay, go ahead, Terry Ann.
I'm a little late to this party today, but quite some time ago when I was working with an Apple accessibility, the help desk, the person reminded me, rightfully so, that if you no longer have a particular device or devices, you should really get rid of them, so that your phone doesn't think you still have them. And I'm guilty of that. I forget to do it.
Right.
So that you can have truly an accurate list of the things that you have. And it really is better, even especially if you have to work with somebody from Apple too, then they know exactly what you have if there's ever an issue with that.
All right. Very good. Yeah. Sadly, I don't throw anything away. So they're all there. Okay. Very good question, Gary.
This is Shri.
Okay. All right. Go, Shri.
I was going to say, for those who have the iPhone 14, there is a new tab for Find My that has the satellite location of your device.
Okay. Very cool.
Arlene.
Okay. Arlene.
I was trying to unmute to ask Greg a question during his demonstration.
Go ahead.
But now I've ended up in safe driving mode.
Oh,
And
my.
how do I get out of here?
You can never get out of there. I'm sorry.
I don't even drive
I know.
because
Okay,
I'm blind.
Who would like to help Miss Arlene with how to get out of safe? Who's that? Somebody want to help her get out of safe driving mode? It's been a while. I know it's under more, and then just.
Let me try helping her out. Chico Tanaka. What you need to do, I think you're in focus. So I think what you need to do is to go to focus. Well, first you go to settings. Then after you go to settings, you go to focus. Then I think there's different categories. There's safe driving. There's do not disturb. There's all the other ones. Double tap on the one that says safe driving or driving completely. Double tap on that. It will toggle. I think it's an on and off switch, so you can toggle that on or off. Double tap until you toggle that off. Then once that's turned off, then any driving, or if you're in a moving car or public transit, paratransit, the phone will not motion it will since it's driving. So
Okay, very good.
You could
Okay.
try it that way.
All right. Anybody
Angelo?
else have anything to add to that? Go ahead, Angelo.
Well, I'm wondering,
is voiceover stable enough for me to update to 16.1?
Yeah, we've
Or
kind of
should-
had that discussion earlier, but yes, the basic consensus is yes, it is.
Okay, thank you.
All
Mr.
right.
Shri.
Is it Donna?
Okay. Okay, hold on. Shri, go.
The question was, I just want to make sure it was your driving mode. Is that on the Zoom conference app?
That's what I thought.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
Arlene. I was just on the Zoom app and I was feeling around trying to unmute to ask a question. And the next thing I know, I'm in this safe driving thing, but
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
think-
go to settings or anything.
Right.
Yeah, I think you might be in the more section on your phone right now. I
The
think
what?
there's a section on the far right called more.
Oh,
And I think if you go in there is where that driving mode section is. If I'm wrong, I'm
This
sure
is-
somebody can correct me.
Okay, Herbie's
is
got a
Herbie.
thought. Go, Herbie.
Yeah, so you're correct. You have to go into settings, and then there's several options. I think it's the meetings option. But the other important thing I wanted to mention is you cannot be on a Zoom call to get into the settings. So you'll actually have to either leave us or wait till the meeting ends before you can get to the Zoom settings.
All right. Okay, but she's saying she triggered it. She thinks she triggered it while she was in the
Because
meeting.
this is Herbie.
Yeah.
Because Zoom has it on by default.
Okay, there we go. Very good. Thank you, Herbie. All right, Miss Arlene, you just gotta get off the meeting later and then go into more and then get rid of that safe driving mode. Okay,
Thank
very
you.
good. Very good. Okay, who's next? New question.
This is Donna.
Go ahead, Donna. I thought I heard you. Welcome.
Thanks. So in Find or Find My, I have the new AirPods Pro 2 earbuds, and I got a signal the other day. I didn't have them with me. David and I both got a signal, a text, when we left our Wi-Fi area that we were no longer in contact with the AirPods Pro 2. Now, I don't mind me getting them, but David was getting it too. So why was he getting them?
This is Marty.
Go ahead, Marty.
I think there's a new feature, and I don't know if it's related to the AirPods too. I think it might be related to other AirPods, but I think when you're out of the range, that signal or whatever you're getting is to remind you that you've forgotten your AirPods in case you want to take them with you.
Right.
Okay.
This is Sandhya. Yeah, I mean, that is called the left behind notification. So you can
Mhm.
activate it or deactivate it. But why? The question is, why is her husband getting it? I mean, he doesn't share your Apple ID, does he?
No.
Okay. Any other thoughts? Anybody?
This is Brad.
Brad.
And maybe under family sharing, under I can't remember where it is, but I know that it's like I share some things with like my son, his roommate, but I don't have that stuff turned on, but it is possible to enable it.
Okay. Well, I'll check that, but I've not enabled
under-
that I know of, that I've known of.
Yeah. Look under your Apple ID, open settings up at the top. It shows you your name, double tap on it and look around in there.
Yeah.
Under Find
I
My.
may have him as an emergency contact, but that's the only thing I could attribute it to.
This is Shri.
All right, Shri, you're a little low, Shri. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Is it possible that you put your AirPods in the wrong case?
No. No, because he doesn't have any at all. I'm the only one that has them.
Okay, that narrows that situation down. So
Yeah.
good point. Okay. Anybody else help with Donna? That's just pretty weird. Okay,
Yeah, I just want to, Jerry from Vermont.
Go ahead, Jerry.
I have a pair of AirPods, and that left behind thing startled me actually. I was out and it said, you've left your AirPods behind. And they were actually charging in the case at home. But I had gone into a restaurant. I came out and then I get this thing. I left my AirPods behind. And so it can kind of startle you. I don't know. I don't know why you would be getting that, except I'm sure your husband shares the same Wi-Fi as you at home.
He does have the same Wi-Fi, but
Yeah,
we don't
okay,
share
so-
the same Apple ID or anything else.
Are you in family sharing with him? No?
No.
That's weird.
Okay. Well,
That would be one I might call Apple accessibility about.
Okay. All right. Very good, Donna. Glad to have your question. Let us know what happens.
I
Okay,
will.
who's okay, who's next? Somebody who hasn't had a turn, somebody new. Who would like to ask a question? You made it all the way to this point. Who has a question?
Thomas from Colorado.
There you are, Thomas. Go ahead.
Hi, I just curious. I use Instacart for groceries, and I've noticed lately it seems to be harder and harder to be able to see what's in my cart. Like when I go to the end of the put the items in the cart.
This is Desi.
Kathy.
Hang on. Okay, so the question is how you are not able to see the things in your cart in Instacart. Is that right?
And I go to click the cart. Correct. That's correct.
All right. Just want to clarify the questions before we move on. Okay, go ahead, Janet. I heard Janet, then Kathy.
It's Desi.
Oh, Desi. Sorry, Desi. Go
That's
ahead.
okay. It sounds kind of like Janet, maybe.
Yeah, right. Not really. Thank you.
So you're welcome. So I had this problem the other day and I was wondering the same thing, and I happened to notice that down in the left-hand corner of the screen there was a number 5, and I happened to have 5 things in my cart. So I thought to myself, let's double tap on that 5 and see where it takes us. And I did, and it brought up the cart and all the things that are in there, and you have the option to go to checkout and all that stuff. So it's just that they kind of rearranged things a little bit. But if you go down and you find that number in the bottom left hand corner of your screen, you should be able to see what's in your cart.
Oh, cool. Okay. Did I hear somebody else? Was that Kathy or was
It's
that somebody?
Kathy, yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Kathy.
I was so excited to hear this question because I was going to blurt it out as a solution. So you have to, if you go to the bottom of the screen and just go one left of whatever's at the very bottom left corner, you'll get this number. And it must have been a coincidence that you got 5, because mine has different numbers every time and they don't have anything to do with what's in my cart, like 4 or 2.
Oh, huh.
And the other weird thing is that I called the Instacart people, and he was saying on the phone that, oh no, the cart's up there right at the top right where it always is. And it may be up there, but it is not where you need to go to get it. And a friend of mine figured this out just like Desi did it. I don't know how people figure things out like this. It just seems crazy to me. And I don't know if there's nobody at Instacart probably cares. I don't know if anybody at Apple cares, but it's a really weird problem. I mean, I was losing my mind because you really can't, you don't want to order things when you can't go back and look at your cart, and you've just put in all these hours trying to, get the stuff ready to go in your cart and you can't see it. It's crazy.
Yes. Well, that's why we have Desi here to help us out, and
Yes,
everybody else on
thank
this
you.
call. That is why we are here. And thank you, Desi. And good question,
welcome.
Thomas.
Thank you so
Miss
much. I
Linda.
appreciate it.
All right. Okay. Who's that?
Linda,
Oh, go ahead, Linda.
I noticed too in Instacart that the search button has also moved, and I've recently found it. It's up in the top left-hand corner. If anybody's searching for it.
Okay. Searching for the search button, right?
Yes.
Okay. There's no irony there. Okay. Very good. Thank you, guys. Our Instacart experts here. All right. Who's next? Somebody new? Y'all are doing great. Great. New question, new person with a new question. Anybody?
Arlene.
Arlene,
I'm still driving.
You're still driving. Okay. All right.
No, I just wanted to say that I signed out And then I signed back in and the safe driving thing was gone and I didn't have to go to settings. So
Right. Okay, well,
what a
whatever you
mystery.
did. Okay, good deal. Glad you're here. Okay, very good, Miss Arlene. All right, who's next? New question, new problem.
This is Shri.
Anybody? Okay, go Shri.
I think she should still check to see if it's not selected. 'Cause this may come back because I think you do have to turn that off.
Okay. All right, so Shri's recommending that you do go into more and turn that safe driving off. But that's when you're in Zoom. So
Yes.
okay, yeah, that's the clarification. Like earlier, Chico was talking about focus and so forth, and that is in the settings under focus, but you're within the Zoom app. So there's definitely a lot of, stuff that you need to clarify here. Okay, we think we clarified that. So thank you very much. Okay, who's next? New question, new problem?
This is Joe.
Joe, go ahead.
If you download a book from a library and has not been OCR'd yet, is there a way to do that in order to be able to read it?
All right, who has an answer for that? So you've downloaded a book from the library, and what format is it in? Do you know? Is it EPUB or something?
Not in EPUB. It's just a regular textbook.
All right. Who has a solution for Joe? So it's not been scanned,
Not been scanned.
because my suggestion would have been like Overdrive or something like that, but that accesses various libraries, but they already, you get it through that app. But how did you get this? You just downloaded it from the library? Is what
Download
you
it from, yeah.
Okay, short of converting each page or so. I don't know. Anybody else have any thoughts for Joe?
Can an
Okay.
open book do it?
That would be, on Windows. So you'd have to, if you're talking
This is
about
Shri.
on your
This is
phone.
David.
Okay, go David.
I work for a library and we use Overdrive primarily for our ebooks. Is it from Overdrive or possibly one of those vendors? There's one called Access 360. There's
It
a
would
few
just
other
be,
ones.
it would just be a book off the shelf.
You're talking about you got a physical bound book and you want to
No,
convert
no,
it.
I downloaded the book from the library. It had been on the shelf, but but it's not EPUB or any of the others. It would just be coming. I'm not even sure if it's a PDF.
Okay.
Well,
David,
I'm not aware of any libraries that just distribute books freely like that. They're usually through some kind of service, and then they have their own app that
Yes.
they like. Overdrive uses Kindle books when you have to read them through the Overdrive app. They also have EPUBs and others, but you read them all through their app, and they do have accessibility features in those apps.
Yeah.
But
okay.
This is Greg.
Hang on. Shri, you wanna
I was
follow
going to
up?
suggest if you tried maybe checking to see if Voice Stream Reader would work.
That's
You want to use Voice Stream Reader for
If you use Voice Stream Reader, oh, wait a minute, Voice Stream Reader. Okay. I don't know. I might try that one. Now you can use Voice Stream and go into, Bookshare and find a lot of books that way. But and then they would already been OCR'd and you just pull them up and read them directly.
Right. So is this book not in Bookshare?
Not in
why?
Bookshare.
That's why we're here, right? Okay. Okay, Joe. Interesting situation. I think I heard Helene. Was that you? Or
Yes, yes,
go ahead.
yes, it was. And it was the same suggestion as Shri, thinking that you could scan it with Voice Stream Scanner and then read it with Voice Stream Reader.
Okay. So there you
Okay.
go. That'll be a nice little summer project.
Summer project. Yes. Thank you, folks.
Winter now.
Okay. Good question.
This is Kathy.
Go, Kathy.
I'm wondering if it might be faster to get a hardcover copy and scan it yourself. I don't know if that's going backwards or looking for somewhere that has the book
Right. You check out reading, what is that called? Reading Ally or Learning
This is
Ally. There's
David.
different
Oh,
sources. Go,
Learning
David.
Ally, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
David.
guess my question is, what format is it in? I mean, is it a PDF? I mean, it should say on the file, like what
Yes.
what
I don't,
what is it?
I don't have it here now, so I'm not sure. If it is a PDF, can I be able to read it from a
Well,
PDF?
PDFs will work in the voice stream scanner. I'm sorry, what voice stream reader. It does
Stream
well
Reader.
with PDFs
Okay.
and some other formats, but if they're open, if they're since you download it, it looks like it doesn't have any like restrictions on it. You know, where you couldn't take it and do other things with it.
Okay, good point. David, you sound great today. Good job. Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Good luck, Joe. Let it find out what the format is, and then we can go from there. Okay. New question. Final few minutes of our call. Who has a new question? Somebody new? New problems. Okay. I think I remember.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Kathy.
I was going to ask, since we have David here, is Overdrive? I signed up for my library, the local library, and was kind of thinking of doing Overdrive. And then when I tried it, I couldn't. It seemed hard to access. I can't remember why I couldn't make any headway, but is it now accessible?
David?
They have a new app called Libby, Libby,
Okay.
which I think they've made improvements, and that's the app they're going with in the future. They're they're phasing out the original Overdrive app and going to this Libby.
Okay.
And you might want to download that.
Try it again.
From your app
Does
store.
every library have it? I think maybe ours went with something else.
Well, they're very dominant in the public library space, but yeah, I mean, some have multiple vendors. I mean, we have a couple at our, but Overdrive is like the 100-pound gorilla, whatever, 1,000-pound gorilla, 2-ton gorilla, whatever. Yeah.
This is Roy.
Okay, great, David. Okay, go, Roy. Go ahead.
Joe, if you get on that file and just flick straight down through your action menu, there's an option called Quick Look. Activate that and see if the book doesn't open up and read for you.
Okay. All
It's worth a try.
Worth a try. Okay, and I like it. So, David, is that Libby as in library? That's why it's Libby, I guess. That's
Libra.
cute. Okay. All right. Anybody else with a quick
This is
question?
Jody.
Oh, okay. Real quick. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say you might want to check Bookshare too, because when you borrow a book from Overdrive or Libby, you can only borrow the book for a set amount of time. I think it's 2 weeks. Or if you get the book from Bookshare, they download all new books and there's no expiration date.
Yeah, I think he said it wasn't there. I think he already looked.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. No problem. Okay. Good suggestion there. All right, guys. This brings us to the closing of our meeting. Thank you so much, Greg, for helping us facilitate today.
Thanks, everybody.
Nikki, make a comment about Libby before you close.
Okay, quickly go.
Okay, it's 21 days for Libby.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So quick recap of what is going on this week for iBUG. Tomorrow you have 2 things. We have All Time Central, all things on Zoom unless specified. Otherwise, so tomorrow you have Clubhouse, iBUG Mini Buzz. So we can continue this discussion tomorrow at 5 Central. Then the app will have Mac and Talk tomorrow night at 7 to 8:30. Thursday is Turkey Day. Friday, we're back to the movie, and it is a very new movie that just came out of the theaters about 82 years ago. And that is The Shop Around the Corner. And it is, like Sharon was totally right, and I think Kathy too, about it has spawned several other movies and musicals. So we are going to see the original. It's a nice little rom-com. So please come and join us for that. And check out our Apple workshop if you missed it this weekend. And we thank you for joining us today. And we will be back next Monday. So thank you very much. Have a great Thanksgiving. Be thankful. We are thankful for all of you and all of your great questions, and you're helping us with figuring out the answer. And we hope that you have a blessed Thanksgiving and good night.
Thank you. And you
Happy
can also
Thanksgiving,
renew
everybody.
on Libby.
Yes, and you do the